good, Chris?
I am good.
Sound looks good. Paying attention to it.
Okay.
Good streamer.
Welcome back. Another stream. Good streamers. Another stream of the Black Aurora. It has been a bit. Last we left off a couple weeks ago was session 2 of the Verdant Claw subplot. These four, Lorelei, Shredder, Twilight, and Mixie, the new members of the elite strike team, the Verdant Claw, as part of the Verdant clan in the kingdoms of Susail, gathered together under the leadership of Shredder's brother, Strike, the warden of the Verdant clan. And you guys, after thwarting an attempted bank heist that was actually just a test of your abilities, you gathered at the, I believe it was the Venomist Academy. My brain is waking up still as to what we did 2 weeks ago, it feels like.
Yeah.
It's been an eternity. You guys went to the Venomist Academy and had your specially chosen Verdant Venoms curated by Mistress Felice, the Dark Elven headmistress of the Academy. The Academy being a elite school for those of the Verdant clan to learn how to properly handle the poisons used and how to create even antitoxins for them. You guys each chose your very specially designed and curated poisons for your style, whether they be inhaled or ingested or applied to a weapon. I think you all chose a different base, at the very least. It was all different forms. It was very, very nice that there wasn't like all of you just choosing the one obvious, the optimal one or anything. They all had good coverage. After choosing your poisons, you did find that your leader, Strike, was becoming increasingly more ill, as you had seen him feeling faint, at one point vomiting, coughing, and then finally passing out as his condition seems to be worsening. You did discover he has been taking a special type of serum created by Mistress Thulis to combat the effects of the Kirin blood in his veins that all of you have some of, but he has a greater majority of as the warden of the clan, slowly poisoning him until the true Verdant aura comes back. Finding that he has apparently been taking a triple dose, way more than he's supposed to be taking just to get through his days, as it's been getting worse and worse, he has unfortunately ran out ahead of schedule, and it'll be at least 2 weeks before more can be synthesized and delivered, since a shipment was recently stolen by bandits, apparently. Which means you only really had one option: to go to the Manticore Bog, this diseased and dangerous location in the Verdant territory that none of you have ever really had any reason to go to before, and procure something known as Ezranox Tears, a type of rare antidote cure-all fruit that only blooms at the center of the bog. Strike, having recovered from his fainting episode, was committed to come with you and asked for a powerful stimulant to keep him going from Mistress Thulis. Seeing what would probably happen to your brother, Shredder, you followed Mistress Thulis in behind closed doors, convinced her to instead provide a sedative, something to put him to sleep while you all went in his place, or rather not in his place, but without him, to go get these fruits, this reagent. A very noble and sensible thing, perhaps. At the time, at least. You convinced her. She went along with the treason in the moment, seeing that there was a potential chance of Strike dying out here. He was in poor condition and was pushing himself too far. You put him to sleep, and she discussed the possible threats you'd face in the bog, gave you guys a few potions and antitoxins because the DM wasn't prepared for you guys to go without your paladin to make up for it, and let you guys use a teleportation circle at the academy, which led you to the Jade Shrine, a crossroads in the middle of the territory. From there, you took horseback or a carriage to the middle of the Venom Blight, these dark, twisted lands corrupted by this spreading blight from the bog itself, and then walked on foot the remaining couple of hours until you reached the edge of what's known as the Alabaster Vale, this massive ivory wall of light surrounding the entirety of the bog, extending into the water at the edges, maintained by these strange tower-like pylons with these white glowing crystals. You were able to determine they were emitting some type of spell, some sort of curative or restorative spell that fought back this spreading blight from the bog, but you weren't able to determine exactly what else they were doing, other than they were charged with basically white aura from the Alabaster clan. Some sort of union between the Verdant and Alabaster erected this veil to protect the lands from the spreading blight. Passing through it, you felt no harm and proceeded into the bog, where you found it to be difficult to navigate, hard to find your footing, your direction, and filled with horrible, terrifying monsters that attacked you guys. You had battle with some very large basilisks and their children, nearly being petrified a few times, and a harrowing battle that led to victory, but a realization that perhaps Strike may have been very helpful to have around for such things. Continuing on, you did find the glowing goldish green orb-like fruits of Azranok tears at the edge of a small pond, a very deep but small pond, that housed a hydra that was stalking the party. Through the use of an invisibility spell and some very good rolls, as well as the team actually splitting, really helped you guys, having Lorelei go by herself as like a stealth agent, whereas Shredder and the others kind of clunked their way along, attracting the attention, unintentionally, of the Hydra. You guys avoided a possible encounter with a very large, very dangerous creature in the middle of the bog, managing to grab, I think it was about 12, we said, fruits before you pulled out. You didn't really know how much you needed, but she said to get as much as you could, gave you a bag of holding for it, though you already had one. So you have 2. But you managed to get enough that you feel is going to last Strike long enough for the next shipment, hopefully. And as you guys were regrouping and getting ready to go, Shredder pulled out his sending stone to Mistress Thulise, ready to call for the carriage to come from the Jade Shrine to the edge of the Venom Blight to meet you guys there to come back home. And you found that there was no response through the sending stone. And as you waited for her to reply, the lights surrounding the edge of the bog began to go out one by one as the veil suddenly dropped. And what was once a guiding light for the party in terms of direction and location at the center of a mist-filled bog is now gone. So here we find ourselves, as we left off. The party is standing in the middle of the bog, not far from where they found the glowing fruit. The Hydra is probably still snacking on the remaining bushes left behind. And the central pylon that Lorelei was using as a way marker for your current relative location in the bog has gone out. What do you do?
That's the golden
All right,
question.
that can't be good, can it?
No, it is not good.
Do you remember the way back without
I'd
having that blinky
say
light?
at best, Lorelei, you remember the direction to the central pylon because you were just looking at it.
Right.
But as far as where else to go, we even
no.
specified last session, I believe, you don't have your compass on you.
We
Nope.
can't
Okay.
see the sun.
Not well enough, unfortunately.
we are in a bog.
Perhaps if you got above the fog cover of the bog.
Why don't we move away from
Hold on.
infested
on.
waters?
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that.
What
do you got there? Redder?
What?
What you
I'm
doing
just
over
Oh.
there?
seeing if this would apply.
In a location you have seen or visited before. Depends on where you're trying to go for. It has a range of 1 mile.
That could be helpful.
Could be.
We won't get lost for
points is neat.
1 mile.
Well, not necessarily how that works, but
Oh. Well, shit.
Oh.
Oh,
oh,
shit. That's even worse.
oh damn.
Well,
Perhaps internet
well
issues.
then.
Perhaps.
I'm Shredder now. I have to talk like this.
She's back. Okay.
Yes.
What happened?
Not sure what
Alright,
happened.
Mickey again.
We're black.
Okay, so you said
Oh.
perhaps if we could get above the fog.
Yeah, I mean, just so you can see the sun. You remember it's about 4 or 5 p.m. by this point, so
Right.
we're getting nearer
Okay.
to sunset, but it's like evening.
All right. Well, if we need to figure out the direction, I will help us. And I'm gonna cast fly on myself.
Sure.
Well,
Hey, look,
I mean,
this
I
race
could
that
do
can't fly.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
I mean, I can do
Um,
that too.
So
Y'all fancy with your
I am.
spells.
Yeah, but mine lasts for 10 minutes.
Sure.
Yeah, that's
So I'm gonna go fly up and try
Sure.
and get an eye.
Okay. Shredder, you fly. How far up do you fly up?
Until I'm above the fog.
Okay, it doesn't take terribly long. It's not like a massive wall of fog, but something about this fog does seem to generate this very thick, cloying mist. And as you get above it, maybe about 80 feet up in the air max, you then see this massive spread of the bog out before you. These thick clouds of fog covering parts. You can give me a perception check.
Sure. Let me make sure. Okay. Perception. Perception. There's perception. Okay.
18. So you guys are at the center of the bog, which does spread for miles in every direction.
Correct.
So you look to your left, you see bog. You look to the right,
Great.
you see bog.
Oh,
Look behind you,
Mhm.
bog. For the most part, in every direction, there's just more bog with no
Alright.
real identifiable landmarks rising above the fog. However, 18 perception, you can see what looks like a thin tower of stone with a dull white crystal that is slowly flickering.
In the far distance?
No, actually relatively close to you. You believe this might be the pylon that Lorelei was tracking.
Okay.
And as you watch it, you do see the light like slowly expands out and then dims back, like it's struggling to stay on.
See anything up there?
Lorelei,
Yes.
we must make our way to the pylon that you were once at. There may be hope.
Okay. This is fine.
Well, you like hope, right?
I remember it
Let's
was
go.
roughly this direction.
Well, with Shredder able to fly for 10 minutes, you guys can easily either just follow the sound of his voice as he can see it,
Trust me.
thankfully.
He has a big enough voice, sure.
Follow me! This way!
Let's
Uh.
go.
Alright.
Let us just draw all the attention to us.
That's alright.
Light list. Oh, yeah, this is fine. Alright, here we go. I keep an eye out on our
Okay.
backs. As we
Then Lorelei, if you'd like to give me a perception check, if you're keeping
Sure.
an eye out.
Flightless bird is not flightless anymore.
That's true. You
Mhm.
have now
Flightless no
actual
more.
wings.
Perception.
Not bad.
Ah, well, what a
Oh, I
Good
forgot about the decay at this
Yeah.
point. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, that's problematic. All right.
Sure
Uh,
is, a little bit.
Could
Add
Midnight
a
give me a
D4.
listen perception, make sure nothing's like trying to sneak up on us?
Yeah, plus also you have your bat with the echolocation around you in, what, 30, 60 feet? Something around
Yeah.
there? Okay.
I guess I
Uh,
wouldn't really.
13.
Up to you. I mean, if you'd select to. 13. Okay.
Yes.
Looking around, you note the Hydra has receded into the water. Twilight, you said you wanted to give a perception?
Yeah.
Or for listening?
Make sure I've got nothing clicked. Okay.
Natural one.
Wow. She's distracted.
Well,
Yeah. I think you're maybe a little freaked out. You're in the middle of the most dangerous part of the Verdant territory. Miles of bog in every direction. you're potentially
Mhm.
lost.
Mhm.
I'm not saying Twilight's a coward, but there is a moment where you realize, fuck, this is pretty bad. And you're a little distracted to listen as you're hearing the sound of your own heart pulsing in your ears as the anxiety kicks in. Oh well, this will be great. So
May I amend my statement in saying instead of I'm taking a look out, my familiar is taking a look.
you know, sure. Does that change anything?
Yes, I don't roll a disadvantage.
Ah, okay. Well, I will allow that because we've established that both you and Twilight always have your familiars out and kind of keeping an eye. I will say that since Lorelei knows how tired they are, it would make sense to have the familiar look. So with a 27 perception.
It's a 23.
Actually, 20. Wow, a natural 20
Yes,
on
my
the
familiar.
So even with with re-rolling, you still got an absurd amount. Great, that's amazing. Yes, I will allow that, especially since you re-rolled it, and it still was a natural 20. Your familiar, your adorable little oh gosh, I can't remember. It's like a tiger and a it's like a griffin. It's like a parrot griffin.
Yeah.
But made of your aura.
Yes.
Is so it's just this green griffin, basically. It's adorable. Looking out, you begin to notice a couple of mounds of dirt and loose soil kind of bulging up a little bit around you guys.
Oh god.
It's not super obvious, but with a natural 20 to a total of 23, your familiar notices activity in the ground around you guys. And all the water has also gone very still. As if like the Hydra has receded, has retreated.
Oh man.
The Hydra retreated.
Mm-hmm.
As so there are movements on the ground. I think we should get off the ground as much as possible.
I can't do this on more than just me.
I know, but everyone can breathe water, so it is fine.
That is true. You guys do have water breathing.
Go to the.
That's
the
very
waters.
useful.
It is.
All right.
I think we should go immediately.
All right.
I'm going to go in the water.
I don't know if going in the water is the best idea.
Would you rather?
Why
get
can't you
ambushed on the
swim?
ground?
Well, we have water breathing, but I don't know. It's such low visibility,
Exactly.
poor mobility.
You were
Can't swim.
Come on.
All right.
I'll be your life vest. Let's go. Hop on.
I love that. So, does the do the party other than Shredder, who's still flying, does Lorelei, Twilight, and Mixie choose to go? Do you guys choose to go through the water instead of the land?
Absolutely.
Okay.
How big is the span of water?
So the fun thing about the bog is a lot of the water. Yes, actually, a lot of the land is some form of like squishy turf that is floating for the most part above. Like if bogs have a lot of land that's not land, that looks like land. A lot of mossy ground that is actually, if you step too hard, water. A lot as you guys get under the water, you find that it's pretty possible to pretty much swim through the entire bog. There are obviously some parts that are solid enough that you have to go around, but you don't find a hard time maneuvering through the bog via the water, as you imagine the denizens here don't either, including the basilisk and hydra that you both know are water-bound creatures.
Yep.
But Lorelei with your natural 20 on the familiar, and Twilight with the echolocation working underwater because you are also underwater. You know there are no creatures nearby you. In fact, Twilight, I know we've done a lot of perception already. I need one more from your familiar right now.
Okay, does this count as hearing perception?
Technically, yes. Echolocation would, yes, count as hearing even though you're seeing.
He
because
has
that's weird.
advantage on that.
Phenomenal. Give it to me.
Oh yeah, I had advantage too.
Natural 20 can't be beaten though, so you're good.
No, I can't. That's fine.
Yeah.
Just this for me to remember.
Good to know.
Okay, so here's the first one.
2.
What familiar?
Mm.
Oh damn.
Still with the plus 11.
I know.
Oh my
Jesus.
god, you're
great.
bad.
It's like the only thing
Sound
it's
is
good at.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Didn't you say advantage?
Yes,
Yeah.
that was his first.
Okay.
God, fuck it, I'm just gonna roll 1 and then 11.
I mean, that's what you've been doing. Yeah.
Mm.
Just hit the up arrow and
There we go.
18 plus 11 for 29.
Alright.
Okay. Midnight, your bat familiar, which I believe is also Aurora familiar, right?
Yes.
So it's also a little green bat. Now underwater, the echolocation spreads out, reflecting off of all of you. You almost have like, you can't see it, but your bat is a underwater sonar, basically. Boom, boom, boom,
Yep.
boom, 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 boom.
Submarine.
Yeah. Especially since you guys can breathe underwater, you don't have to leave. And technically, Twilight can choose to see through Midnight's senses as a familiar. So for a moment, Twilight, you actually kind of do get like the whole array of the topography
Right.
underwater. Honestly, like a little. It's kind of funny.
B7, please.
Yeah, basically. You do see a very large 5-headed figure, the Hydra, swimming away.
Away.
Yes,
As in not towards us.
correct. Away from you guys, away from where the fruit was.
Alright.
Something bigger.
And
It
I don't
seems
see
to be-
anything else.
You see several fish. There are several like actually normal like fauna. There's normal fish, a couple of eel, a couple of other young basilisks that you guys didn't fight that were lingering.
Yeah.
There are creatures down here. They don't seem to be paying you guys any mind, and with a 29 perception, you can get a very, very good sense. In fact, if you want, I'll give it an insight check for even better sense.
Sure. I think it's pretty decent at those.
Probably suits her very well for her.
Oh yes, one of her
choosing.
best.
Yeah, I had a feeling she has to make sure no one's trying to deceive her and all that.
Nice.
20 insight makes sense for Twilight.
Mm.
I think you can tell they all look scared.
Oh, I don't like that.
You're welcome.
Can
We
we
can't
talk?
really talk.
Yeah.
We
No,
can
you
breathe
can't really
a-
talk underwater. You can breathe, but the voice, blah, 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 it's still a very burbled. You can talk, but it
Right.
comes out a little bit blurbled. You'd have to be kind of near each other to kind of understand, but you can
Uh-huh.
talk.
Not really sure how to convey it though.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you would get closer to.
Sign language would be good to learn for this circumstance.
Wood.
She's trying to get as close as she could to Lorelei
Mm-hmm.
and relay that the creatures seem to be afraid for some reason.
How do you do that?
I mean,
You can talk.
Can I-
So I'm gonna say,
every
Just-
other word.
how about both of you roll me a
Performance for AJ?
performance from AJ, perception from Lorelei. This is kind of funny.
Cool, I have advantage on performance checks.
That's amazing.
I have a D4.
Nice.
What are you performing?
21.
Well, shit. A 25 and a 21. Twilight comes up to you and goes, I think they're running from something because they're afraid. And you hear it like perfectly. Like, oh, somehow there's
No
no
water.
bubbles. It's just perfectly communicated. Even you don't know how that happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I think to myself, well, yeah, because of the giant mounds moving, it's bigger. Thumbs up, like. Good
Do
to
I
know.
understand this?
Mixie, if you were close enough, you
I
can
mean,
give
I
me
would have been with the group.
you can give me a perception check as well. See if you can interpret.
Probably not.
No, not really.
Mm.
I'm afraid.
Mm.
You heard.
I'll stick close to them.
And then Lorelei gave a thumbs up, so it's like, okay, something good.
All right, yeah.
Shredder,
I'm safe. Cool.
while this is
Hi.
happening, you're in the air, they're underwater. You lose sight of them immediately as soon as they enter the water.
Yep, I'm just gonna go to the tower.
Okay. You fly over. Thankfully, you have fly speed. It's very easy. While flying over, you do know a number of birds. Some larger, like definitely like monstrous birds. Some of them just normal fucking birds. A lot of vultures and ravens and such that we'd find in a terrifying, creepy bog.
Yeah.
All flying in every direction away from the central tower.
Oh, good. That's a good sign.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For what it's worth.
Mm-hmm.
Probably jack shot.
I don't know. I don't know how you stealth while flying.
Probably clouds.
I guess
Goes
if you
out.
like, if you stuck close to the surface of the fog and like you were trying to keep your movements as slight as possible to not like light reflect off your armor, I could see there being a method of stealth flying. Remarkably good, considering you have disadvantage and a 1 in stealth. That was a really good roll, 18.
I was expecting sub 10.
So was I. I was expecting negative number, honestly, somehow. No, yeah, sub 10 would have been more likely. But 18 was good. Natural 17. You managed to sit close to the just where the fog layer stops. So you're not like this obvious thing in the middle of the day sky. And you don't feel like you're rustling a lot. Your armor's you're gliding forward as still as possible, so there's not enough clanking and clanking. As you reach the edge of the area surrounding this central tower, it looks like a central stone tower, like a square tower of like brick and mortar. It goes up about 60 feet and then is capped with this glowing white crystal-like orb that is currently emitting a faint light, and then eventually you see it dim and then brighten again, like it's on its last legs of energy. I believe, I don't remember if it was Mistress Thulis or Lorelei's Arcana roll. I don't remember which one it was, but you guys did learn these are charged with white aura.
Right.
And that basically a white aura can recharge these. Obviously, an alabaster aura being better. You don't see any of the distant lights flickering. The central one, though, does seem like it's either got enough charge to just barely remain on and is fighting to stay lit. The reason Lorelei didn't see it is because it's not bright enough to pierce the fog, but it is still just barely lit. And you do note, I'm not even going to need a perception check because it's pretty obvious. In fact, I will put you on the map.
Oh, there's a map.
There's a map.
Yay.
I'll just copy everyone over, but only Shredder is there now. One sec.
Okay, great. Considering flight speed, I move twice as fast.
Yeah, and they're underwater, so they're having to kind of navigate around. You do see what looks like at the base of the tower.
Oh no.
Sitting in the middle of a pool of murky water is a massive skeletal form of a dragon.
Yeah. I'm gonna use one of my... I'm gonna reapply my rot work to my weapon real quick.
Okay.
Don't know if that'll matter. I'll make sure I...
Well, you were told that, you know, it can affect things that are typically like immune, so yeah, it's pretty good, no matter what, to have it on.
Mark off one of my bottles.
But
Okay.
as you approach this like flying up above in the air, in fact, I'll mark that you're at least 60 feet in the air. We'll do, what's it, 5, so that would be, we'll just do 9, just to mark that you're as high up as I can mark you, if not higher. I don't remember how we did it for when we were on Alarin. There was a way we marked 10s. I think we just did the red bit was 10s, so I'll just do 6. You see the massive pool of water and the very much decayed and picked clean skeletal form of the dragon at the base of this stone tower that is glowing and fainting and pulsing. But yeah, everything you've seen so far has been running away from this location, and you know this to be the dead center of the bog.
Okay, well, everything's running away. I guess perception to see if no, hold on. No.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking at my spells.
Oh, I understand.
I'm just swimming in a bog.
I'd
I'm
say
getting
about-
dirty water.
About this time, as Shredder kind of has stopped and is watching the area, Lorelei, Twilight, and Mixie, especially with Twilight's sonar helping guide you guys, you do find yourselves arriving on the shore about this area. As you feel like you went in the right direction, thanks to the sonar. You probably can make out Shredder up in the air.
Do I... am I even aware of these mounds? I'm not, am I?
No, you are
No.
not. They were.
All right,
and
let me
they...
make a perception to see if I notice anything.
Absolutely.
Yeah, let me just give a perception. No. Okay.
8. No. What you do notice is, the light is fading.
Does it
gets a little bit
look
smaller.
like? Does it look like the aura's flowing somewhere?
Give me an Arcana check on that one. 9. Yeah, you feel like this is not your area of expertise.
Maybe if I get a closer look.
Can I have my familiar be just above the water line?
Yeah. like a periscope.
Yeah.
Just
All right, so
holding him
against
holding him by the butt, so his head's
Yeah,
just. I love that.
Looking through his eyes.
I
to
love
look
that.
around.
This is so great. Yes,
against
give
my,
me a
out now?
give me a perception check.
against my better judgment, Shredder's gonna fly forward towards it to get
Okay.
a closer look.
Oh, I have advantage. Let me see if I get any better. No, 18.
18. Okay. So, what are you looking for with
Shredder.
your
Familiar
Shredder?
is looking
Oh,
for Shredder.
absolutely. Can pinpoint Shredder as he gets closer. Before that, it was a bit harder because of the good stealth check. But now that he's kind of flown closer to this glowing light, the light is reflecting a little bit off of his armor. You can see the form of Shredder just floating in air. 120 feet. Well, let's see.
I'm 60 up plus.
Nope, way out of your range.
If I send my, I can cast my familiar can.
You can have the familiar fly out like 60 feet and then send message. Okay, yeah, I'll allow that.
What
Are
you
we
doing? Should we stay? Are we going?
This
We're staying here?
crystal is dying. I need to see if there's anything I can do.
What is he
Okay, we'll stay
saying?
here. He said the crystal is dying, and I guess we'll just stay here.
Oh,
That's all I know.
Should also note, Shredder has no idea where you guys are.
Also,
It's fine.
there's dragon bones in the waters below me.
Apparently, dragon bones in the water below.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
That
So I will.
Twilight,
that's
I wonder if
strange.
we should be
Twilight,
concerned for
on
that.
hearing that, I would like you to give me a history check.
I'm sure
Sounds pretty cool.
they'd fetch a
Maybe?
pretty panty.
That's what I was actually thinking. You know, that's a good point. I forget. Was it? What's your code name?
Can I guide myself?
Biff.
Sure.
BF.
yeah.
Biff.
I'm
This
Biff.
is a pretty good point.
Plus guidance?
That's not a bad idea. Maybe we should take a
Yeah, I
little
think so.
dip in the water.
16?
Yeah.
Okay.
in the back of
Your family,
Yeah.
Twilight, had a wonderful breadth of knowledge, and considering your attachment to the royal family in some distant way, your family had insights. There are records of a dragon existing within the Verdant territory eons and eons ago, before the time of Arcus. From the time when the Verdant were considered the soldier force of Susail. But there's been no record of dragons in Susail ever since then, due to, of course, Susail's relatively close geographic location to Bardest. A lot of the dragons here have been either taken or slain by the claim keepers and such of Bardest. Basically, from the 16, you know this dragon would be ancient to have been here.
And it's got some good bog water.
Okay.
That preserves. We need to take some of that.
It's definitely dead.
Good. Glad it won't wake up.
As it wakes up.
Shut up.
Shredder, as you approach the crystal, what are you trying to do? You're getting nearer this.
Right now,
it's a very large
I
crystal.
just want to take a closer look. Like, to see if like something.
I'll take investigation or perception.
Yeah.
What are you doing piddling around for? Shouldn't we be getting out of here?
Hold on.
Yeah, I think we should
I
definitely.
don't know, maybe we can take the crystal and get
Some
some
bones.
healing out of it or something. I don't know.
I'm just sending this to somebody so I can say I called it if it happens.
Okay.
Mm.
I have received. Oh
Interesting.
no! Fuck.
Interesting. I obviously don't see whatever it is, but I like that you're making a prediction.
Yep.
Oh god. I
You
hope
said
he's wrong.
Investigation.
I don't see what he's posting.
Great.
7 investigation. You see that the crystal is rooted to the stone. It is like clasped on, and it looks like the aura is flowing into the stone or from the stone. Hard to say. You don't see any kind of like obvious place aura here, slot, or anything. You do see a number of like squiggly lines that are probably inscriptions, but you're no mage. You don't really know what you're looking at. It's magic and it's shiny and it's doing a thing.
Send another message. What did you see? Are we getting out of here? Are we taking the crystal? What's going on?
I don't think we should take the crystal. I think we need to repair it somehow.
Parrot.
But
Parrot.
I
He's
need.
talking about
well,
parrots.
yeah, we can't hear this.
No, just
I need
conversation between Lorelei and
someone who's more of a mage.
Well, that would
Boom
be
and
me.
Shredder, rather.
Hello.
Hey.
That would be Boom.
Me, hello.
That would be Boom. Hello. All right. I'll just send. Easily will go. He'll meet you momentarily.
Very well.
Okay. Your familiar flies up over to Shredder.
Blind, and I'm gonna hold on to Biff.
Biff.
All
Okay.
right.
Biff will
Gotcha.
leave me.
Your senses switch
A
over
nice,
to
sweet,
the
tender moment.
as your senses switch over, you now see the large skeletal frame just under the surface of the water at the foot of this large stone tower. You would note this tower looks bigger than the pylons you saw at the base, at the edge of the bog. Those were just like thin, maybe 30-foot tall poles of like iron with a crystal routed at the top. This is a built, masoned tower of stone that goes up about 60 feet with a crystal orb about 2 to 3 times the size of the ones at the edge that is still barely radiating a light. Without even doing an Arcana check, you can tell the reason it still has light is it had a bigger charge than the rest of them. For some reason, this one had more in it than the rest did. So as your familiar reaches the flying form of Shredder, what would you like to do? Which I had the mini token for.
Take a look-sees.
Let me grab your
the-
guys' familiars.
Thing.
Okay, I'll take investigation or perception.
Yeah. Let me just reread familiar viewing.
Sure. Just put this up here.
You can see through your familiar's eyes, gaining the benefits of any special senses the familiar has.
Correct.
So does that mean for investigation I would use my stat or its stats? For
I'd allow you to
perception,
do. I'd allow you to do whichever you'd like. I
okay.
suppose.
Would you like me to roll with disadvantage since it's my stats?
No. You could
No?
use that's
Okay.
that's my point is if you wanted to
Okay.
like let it do the investigate because it's still an entity. You're just seeing through its
Okay.
eyes.
All right.
You could order it to investigate for you, and then you're seeing the results of its investigation. Basically,
Okay. So
I'll allow
then,
that.
so my investigation stat or its investigation stat?
That's your
That's
call. That's my point. Is if you want to do
I can
yours,
oh,
you
okay.
can you can choose. Yeah.
I will use my own then.
Okay.
Because it's better.
Sure.
There we go.
Natural 20 for a
Alright, cool.
29.
Yeah. That's my
Well,
best stat.
shit.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It kinda is.
A natural 20 to 29. You recall at the edge of the bog, you performed an arcana check and determined there were a number of spells of sorts, like some sort of spell-like abilities being cast by this alabaster veil. What you're looking at now with a natural 20 investigation is you can see that much like your own body is inscribed with spells, the stonework here has spells carved into it. This is definitely the first of the pylons. The others maybe were made to mimic this one. This one also seems much older. It seems like it's covered in moss. Stone is cracked and very old, well maintained, but has the obvious wear and tear of potentially centuries of standing here. And the inscriptions are deeply carved into the stone. Among the inscriptions, though, there is one that is more. How do I put it?
Prominent?
You feel like there's one more dominant spell that this is casting. A very, very particular spell that is perhaps a little bit different than the way you know it to be. This is a very old, reworked, gentle repose spell.
Shit.
A spell used to prevent the rising of undeath.
Doesn't sound bad at all, Mike.
And the light fades again, a little bit more.
Through my familiar, I'd like to cast Spare the Dying on.
What are you
the
casting
crystal.
it on? On the crystal? Okay.
Yeah, that's because to me the inscriptions are the spells are being cast.
It gets
onto the
a little bit
crystal.
bigger. The light spreads a little bit. Just a little bit. However, with a cantrip, it goes back down immediately.
God, it's almost like we needed a paladin, here.
For revivify.
It's like maybe there was a method to the madness of this whole thing.
All right.
I'm
I'm gonna do one more thing and then I'll pass it over to somebody else. I
Okay.
will at fourth
can't do
level
nothing.
cast Cure Wounds on the thingy. Because that's the highest thing that I can do is fourth level Cure Wounds. That's all I can do, guys.
I can pour my last bottle on it. I doubt that do nothing.
The
though.
light flares and seems to be maintaining its hold
What'd you
for
do?
a bit.
Looked like it worked.
It doesn't look. It's not as bright as it was before,
Oh, okay.
but there's a sudden surge of light.
Can anyone cast anything of higher potency that is
Necromantic,
healing?
particularly.
Yes, anti-necromantic.
Well, actually, not
Or
anti.
is it? Or
You
is
specifically necromancy. I know it sounds like
Yes.
necromancy is the
I
magic
know
of
it
death.
does.
It's also the
That's
magic
so
of
funny.
undeath and is the
Yeah.
thing that stops things from coming back.
Yeah.
Necromancy is like magic that controls and inhibits and helps and hurts the
Ironically,
dead.
Cure Wounds is evocation. So
That is really weird.
Do you want to undo whatever just happened?
I'll allow that one to work though because of the nature of the spell,
Okay.
regardless.
Okay, that's fair.
Wow, Cure Wounds is evocation. Like every other heal I know of is necromantic. That's so
I-
I think
weird.
actually all of them are evocation. For
Are
some
they
reason.
all
I'm
evocation?
pretty sure. Yeah. I don't know.
Kidding.
Oh, they
Hmm.
are.
Yeah, I
How
don't know why.
strange.
Hmm.
Heals.
Because like resurrection is necromantic.
Yeah,
Interesting.
it is. It's
I'll
weird.
allow that to work then.
Okay. All right.
Hmm.
I have the ability to cast False Light.
That's on self only, because I can do that too.
I
We need something more powerful, like I don't know, the raise dead, revivify, all the things that the paladin can kill.
Didn't Strike do that stuff?
That is correct.
Yes.
Well, shit, we should have brought him with us.
That is correct.
Shredder, I would like you to give me a wisdom check real quick. Straight wisdom.
Maybe we
Just
should just get out of
straight
here.
wisdom.
Come back later.
No, you still feel pretty content that you did the right thing.
Yeah.
Your brother. You know.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't have anything else, unfortunately.
Well, we got what we came for, right?
It is true, I guess. Just
Does
Yeah,
anyone have?
Why are we doing this?
Does-
by the way?
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess talking through the familiar with your message. Does it have?
Light dims a bit.
Does it have? Does anyone have shift?
no.
Shit.
No.
You mean
Why would we ever want to shift our auras? Are you not a true Verdant?
That's true. That's true.
What are you talking
Ew.
about?
Other
Yeah,
colors of aura?
Oh,
That's so
Sorry, I
cringe.
thought maybe one of you
that
might.
is surprising. Wow, you really think that poorly on us? Not no. I don't know.
I'm
very offended.
running out of options.
This is
Look,
true,
the
I
only-
guess.
Mhm.
Can you please call what's her face again? Venomous
Michael,
Mistress Tulis.
Yes, Chris.
Police.
Yeah, yes, Shredder.
Police.
I have a question.
Yeah,
Sure.
We got questions.
I would like to land next to the crystal.
Okay. Yeah, it can support your weight. Doesn't have room to stand.
I don't know. It's kind of centuries old.
And
Collapses.
I would like to attempt to
Mm-hmm.
give it some of my life force,
How you
if you
do
would
that?
allow that.
Okay.
How you do that?
How would you do this? That's the question. Is how would Shredder choose to provide life force to the crystal? If you just put your hand on it, that's not exactly enough.
Blood juice of Kieran blood life. I don't know.
And then it dissolves because it's poison.
Yeah. We screwed it.
Because I like where you're going with this, but I do need to.
I want to get a. If I gesture my aura towards it, what happens?
Your aura towards it seems to pass through
Okay.
and just
Yeah.
harmlessly.
Why you
I would
piddling
like-
around?
I
we
would
doing?
like to spend 10 points of decay to aura heal it.
What's he doing?
He has a very
What's the
deep in
dog
thought.
doing?
He's just deep in thought, thinking about things.
Thank
That's
you,
all.
AJ.
He needs to think a little bit faster. You think?
I mean, it's
Holy shit!
10 points of aura
Ow.
to heal.
How are you doing that?
The light grows. About to where it was when you used Cure Wounds. 4th level.
Whatever he did, looked like it worked a little.
10 more points.
10 more points.
Sir.
What you doing? What you
Sir.
doing up there?
The light is now nearly blinding in your eyes.
Oh, okay. That's enough slices. That's enough to get.
Okay, Shredder, as you feel exhaustion come over your body,
Yeah.
the light seems to be stable and bright.
Mm.
You don't have any way of knowing how long this will last, but you've definitely returned it to the brightness it was when Lorelei was seeing it through the fog before.
Oh. Do we have a heading?
I don't know.
Lorelei, can you see
You
the
don't have to
others?
shout. I don't know.
No,
You
gotta
don't have
shout.
to shout.
Yeah, that's my job.
I have
It's in character.
Look, around.
Okay, familiar kind of flies up to see.
Yeah. See if I
Um,
can
I'm gonna get out of the
Give me a
fog
perception check.
water if it's
Roll
safe to do so.
1d 20 plus 3. Oh yeah, I have advantage. 13.
Alright, better than
13?
8.
You don't seem to see any of the other the exterior ones appear. Actually, quick roll.
Maybe. Cause he's cute.
Just take a quick peek. No, you don't see any appear, unfortunately.
Easily fly back
Hey,
down.
Mira, welcome.
Shake his head.
Hi, Mira.
Where are you looking for?
I'm just looking to see if maybe the juicing up of the middle pylon juiced up the exterior ones, but Zilly saw nothing, so
I see no juice, I just see more light.
this is what I was referring to.
Oh, okay.
Mm,
Whatever he did, it worked, so we can go, right?
I just
Lorelei, if you'd like to give me another Arcana check on the central pylon now.
Yes, absolutely. Through my familiar, through me.
I won't get
Your choice.
Okay, obviously not through me. Yeah, 21.
21 Arcana. You don't have a set metric yet, but based on how quickly the light was receding when you used your Cure Wounds, you'd say Shredder maybe bought about 10 minutes of light.
Oh, shit.
We have 10 minutes.
Till what?
Until it goes extinguish again or starts to recede. So
Okay. Well,
through Zealy. Oh yes, a message. Cantrip. The shredder. I mean, yes. Do you think you could fly up further to see if you see any other lights? Zealy eyesight is. I know, I
yes.
question him sometimes.
Shredder will fly up and with disadvantage now attempt.
Okay.
bright lights.
It'd be like that.
Disadvantage
My
because
eyes.
of decay.
Mhm.
Yes.
And your eyes.
Your eyes,
Ow.
yes, as well.
Dry eye.
Yeah. Oh my god, your decay, Shredder.
Yeah.
Really?
Maybe
Oh my
Probably
it's
close to
god.
30.
I just
I mean, it
dropped.
has to be based on the 20 that was just used,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh my god. Unfortunately, it's about the same roll as the familiar had.
Yeah.
The fog is very thick. It's very distant. It's also still broad daylight. You have to imagine the distant lights would have to have been very bright to have been visible in the middle of the day, even through the fog. With a 14 perception, unfortunately, it's hard to tell.
I have midnight try.
Yeah.
Try all the things.
Try all the things.
That's advantage. So this plus 11.
Look, can I get out of the bog now? I'm kind of
About the same. 13, 13,
Oh,
14, 13.
Get into the box.
Y'all want me to
Okay.
try to perception
21.
something? What are
Things are
y'all
going
looking at?
interesting.
It was advantage. So, Twilight, do I see it right that you stepped out onto dry land?
Yes, it
Okay.
does.
Just so I know for reference where everyone is. So Midnight flies up and through Midnight's eyes with a 21 perception. You do note some of the lights seem to be on the edge. About 6 or 7 in a row. And it's hard to tell. Well, I guess... No, it's hard to tell based on your current location in what direction. Well, actually, no, you can see the sun. You can see the sun because you're up above. About north of you guys. 6 or 7 lights stayed on. With that knowledge, you would note it's pretty much the ones that ring the border of the Alabaster territory itself. Were not extinguished. The rest were.
Of course.
And one going into their land.
Can I do one last check?
Just like Richie's.
Of a thought of like keeping the crystal at its current brightness. If we're to continuously cast Spare the Dying, would that maintain where we're at? Can I do some kind of logic?
Give me an Arcana
Arcologic.
or Intelligence check. Intelligence would be a
Arcana.
lower DC.
Okay, well, disadvantage since it's me doing it.
Right.
I will do Arcana because I have a better modifier.
Sure.
17.
17. Based on the rate, when you used Spare the Dying, it was such a blip. It was just like a barely anything. A cantrip just sort of enough to give it a little surge of power, but then it went back down. If you just kept doing it every 6 seconds, you'd maintain status quo potentially. If 2 people did it repeatedly for 6 seconds, you might actually be able to just slowly expand it. If 3 people, definitely. The more people, the better. But I mean, it would be you don't get a chance to breathe. You would be every 6 seconds, spare the dying, spare the dying, spare the dying, spare the dying. And it would go as long as you could.
Okay. Alright. So maybe we can use this as a waypoint. I can keep easily here and continuously cast Spare the Dying as we make our way out of the bog. As we know, that way is Alabaster, opposite direction is home.
So we go away from the light.
Correct.
But
Okay.
you can't leave your familiar here forever, and once the
No.
light goes out, who knows what's going to happen?
Yes, I know. That is why we need to get out of here. And why isn't... Hold on 1 second, please. Through message. Shredder, can you please come back to the group? We are like over here. You might see Twilight out in the water. Look, this is really annoying having to have multiple conversations, different locations. Unless you have better idea. Idea is to go. Actually, it's recasting message multiple times because it's a lot of words.
It's a lot of words.
At this point, it has been a couple minutes of dialogue. The light does shrink a little.
I suggest we go.
I'll
It's different.
slowly fly down, but I'll make my way back over to the party.
Okay.
At
About
half
time.
speed.
So,
The
as you
thing
guys
is,
regroup...
we don't know. Sorry.
No, you're fine. As you guys regroup, you see the light is maintaining. I would say, since Lorelei was particularly aware of it before, give me a perception check for the mountains that you saw before, the earth.
Me?
Now.
Me?
Yes.
Yes. Alright, and I click a button. 10. Great.
10. You can't see any of them nearby you guys, just for that
we're
note.
fine. We are fine.
Anyways.
I'm also still floating in the water, holding on to
Okay.
beef.
Biff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beef. Okay, so if we're not going to do anything, I think we should leave.
I agree.
Yes. Let's go.
Darn tootin'.
Alright, well, I will
Let's go.
continue through Zealy, cast Spare the Dying, and hope that we have a waypoint.
Does your familiar have like a radius or how long they can be away from you or
No.
Not because it is a aura familiar.
More familiar.
So I suppose if we
Specifically.
at least get the town before it goes out, we can tell somebody, and then
Yes.
they can
yeah,
have
you can
somebody.
see through it, right? That's convenient. All
Well, I'm
right.
not going to be looking through it while swimming through the bog. That
I
would
mean,
be
I could
useless.
carry you. That'll help.
Okay. Which is fine.
Okay.
I'll be
Ugh.
carried.
I will
My feet
Pretty
hurt.
strong.
fly above you guys over the water.
I will note you only have 10 minutes of flight. You've got maybe a
Mhm.
few minutes left. And it's
Okay.
going to be at least an hour, You guys walked
Okay.
in, I think,
Well, I'm a little
get to
slow.
an
stepping.
hour.
I'm at half speed, so
Yes.
after my
that is
flight
correct.
goes, I'm at
Let's get to stepping. Come on.
slow.
I believe, Lorelei, are you also at half speed? Are you above 20?
No, I'm above 20.
Okay, yeah, so you're at half
Just
speed.
barely.
I only have 1 decay, so I'm right as rain. Let's
Jeez.
get out
Oh
of here.
man. If I had one more
Okay.
decay, I'd be in a bad situation.
Yes.
Probably.
Oh gosh.
God, you're that. Oh,
Yes.
Mhm.
owie.
This, you should-
29.
yeah. Shredder, do you think you can continuously bother Mistress Lulis to see why she is not answering?
Pick up.
You try Mistress Elise again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Strange.
After a moment, you hear coming through. Oh, thank goodness you picked up. Sorry, I've been having trouble getting. And it cuts off.
Well.
Thing to work. I can't get. It cuts off again. Give me a intelligence check, Shredder.
Cobalt attack.
Disadvantage.
Yep, at disadvantage. Intelligence.
It's a CMP.
6.
Ooh,
Damn thing's broken again.
shit.
No idea.
Shit.
Magic's weird.
Damn thing. She's responding, but not.
Fog interference. To get the hell out of here.
I concur.
I'm gonna, track
I
a little
can
bit
walk.
faster.
I can
You
walk.
sure?
Yes, pick up Shredder. He's slow as hell.
Oh.
That is
All right, come on, Shredder.
I will not be carried.
You will
Come
be
on.
carried, and you will
Your
like
pride can't kill us. I'm not gonna let it.
it. Yes.
I'm literally just gonna. If you resist, I am going to try to strength check.
I agree
So-
with Biff.
Okay.
I
So
believe I said that out loud.
Okay.
as you guys, I'm gonna push back, I guess, on the overview map. You're leaving your familiar behind to continuously,
Yes.
through you, cast Spare the Dying.
Yes.
I did note it will barely be able to keep up, so there
Yeah.
is a potential diminishing returns situation here where it might
That's fine.
slowly go down.
That's fine. We just need enough time to get us out.
Mm-hmm.
That is all.
All right. I need everyone here who is walking to give a survival check.
Mm-hmm.
Because you do have a heading now, like a better idea of where you are.
Disadvantage. 16.
I do have danger sense. So if there's anything for saving throws for Dex, survival. Okay, yeah, sure. Can I flare my aura for this?
No, because this is like over the course of a period. This isn't a single
okay.
moment.
Okay. Well, shit. Sorry. It's a garbage roll.
Okay.
Fantasy.
Okay. Lorelei, where'd that +4 come from?
My racial.
Ooh, nice.
yes.
Cool.
Yeah,
16,
perception
17,
and
9.
survival I have added before.
Nice. That's cool. So you guys make fairly slow work through the bog.
I'm 40 speed. Woo. All right.
It's mostly a matter of finding like the right land to step on, and or you guys move through the water, in which case it's another entire issue of navigation, even with Twilight's assistance. Especially since one of you is kind of
Dead weight.
dead weight.
Yeah, you're really heavy, Shredder.
Very heavy.
Okay, though. Shit. There's another one.
Lorelei, are you walking? You're not looking through your familiar?
No, I'm not looking through my
okay.
familiar. I'm just casting the spell.
Your familiar though can basically relay things to you. It can through like tell. Well, that's how familiars work.
Yes.
Being it can relay information to you. It would inform you that your Spare the Dyings are losing ground. You aren't. It's not like diminishing quickly. You're managing to very barely keep it up, but it does seem to be decreasing.
I'll throw in a first level cure wounds. To juice
Okay.
it a little, and then
Just
back
a
to
bit.
spare the die.
Okay.
Man.
Artificers,
So-
man.
Things the DM really doesn't expect, but you got to work with it. Okay. About an hour into your walk, because it took about an hour to get to the center from the edge, and you have the same amount of distance to cover backwards. You're
7 hours.
I was gonna say, are you would you continuously cast higher and higher level spell things to keep it going, or are you just trying to maintain?
I'm trying
Because it
mostly...
will
ahead.
go out if you're just using Spare the Dying.
Every once in a while, I'll throw in a
Cure
spell
wounds.
slot, yeah,
'Kay.
to give us additional
Like spell
time.
slots you got.
Not that many left.
Can
so...
I have your familiar give a perception check, please?
Yes. Slash. Oh, that's a T. I need an R.
The Mixies, Moxie, the last one. I don't know.
20 plus 3, and I have advantage, so...
Need to change this. It's now
The
7.
19.
Let's say 7 hours. 19.
Yes.
I'm changing the strike time thing. 7 hours left. On a 19, the light has diminished about half as much as it was before. You're continually casting Spare the Dying and Cure Wounds through your familiar has helped keep it up. But as your spell slots diminish, so too does the light slowly begin to wane.
I'll keep a 3rd level slot if
Cool.
I can.
I'd say you guys reach about an hour into this, and you guys are nearing, you feel the edge of the bog. 2 things do occur to you. One, you never got in touch with Mistress Thulis, so you don't have a carriage waiting for you at the edge of the Venom Blight now.
Nope.
So you'll have to walk the extra 4 hours back to the Jade Shrine
Yep.
from here.
Yep.
2, if you guys' intention was to keep the light going until you got back to town,
No. My intention
it's
was
not
to
going
get
to
it
last, well,
to the Venom Blight.
to the Venom Blight. It's going to go out. And if your assumption is that the light is keeping the dragon dead, dragons can fly a lot faster than you can walk.
Why would it come after us?
I didn't say you,
I
but you 4 are the guardians of the territory.
know. We tired.
It
I'm
doesn't
not saying
know
what to do.
that.
I'm not saying what to do,
Keep calling. Keep calling.
but
Laura.
Well,
I'm just
yeah.
advising, if you guys continue to leave, and your theory holds true, a dragon is about to resurrect in the middle of the bog, and you guys have a 4-hour walk to the Jade Shrine, and a 4-hour flight will get it to any town in the territory.
I've been walking for an hour.
I understand. I'm just
God.
letting you know. And as these 2 things occur to you, on a 19 perception, your familiar hears a voice.
Oh my god. Alright.
Oh, what's this little thing? How cute.
No.
I wish I could keep you for myself.
No.
And your familiar can turn and see a woman floating in midair with large aura wings, like aura flight active, of pure alabaster.
Oh, this
White.
bitch.
Okay.
As you see a young-ish woman with like a hood up and like robes. Looks like carrying like a small basket of some sort. She looks honestly like she's out picking flowers. But the basket is full of look like gemstones. White gemstones. And she looks to your familiar, and the last thing before the familiar disappears.
Can I have it do a cute little like roll over on its belly? Could be like cute little bird sounds.
You can, as she destroys it.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh no.
Lorelei, if you'd like, can give me a. What would be the check to recognize someone?
History.
History or insight. I'll allow either of those.
Nature of the person.
Oh wait, sorry. Not ignore that. And
Oh, why? Why ignore
So-
that?
Well, because it's to take the lower one of 19.
Well, that's
Still.
Still pretty
still
good. Still pretty good.
I'd say Lorelei, as a lieutenant in the company of the Viridian Seas, you have a pretty decent idea of important political figures in your current climate. After the most recent right went so south, a lot of the clans had to choose new staff for particular positions, such as warden. And the Alabaster Warden was a young woman who had command over elementals.
Oh God.
Peria met her briefly at the summit, the meeting. And yes, and you believe this may have been her. And I'll pull up the name just from.
Gosh, go back
This
to my
was
old notes.
This is just a shitstorm.
Alabaster Warden Maurice.
Maurice.
Maurice, human female, young adult, kind temperament, but
Nope, she ain't kind.
yeah.
He's in the
She
middle
got
of a
evil
bog.
streak. She got evil streak.
And as you're familiar, you feel that the connection severed. The third thing you realize is that if this veil was undone recently, they'd probably still be nearby and notice that one of them stayed lit.
Well, are you alright? You
No,
paused a moment there.
Yeah.
So
no,
you guys are
it's
maybe
bad.
20 minutes from the edge of the Manticore Bog still, maybe 15 minutes of walking.
Look, I keep slipping.
We need to
What's
get in
up?
contact. We need to get in contact. This is very bad. Alabaster Warden Maurice, this bitch, is
Pick up,
is
pick up,
behind
pick
all
up,
of
pick up,
this.
pick up, pick up, pick up, pick up,
This is
pick
bad.
up.
As you keep
those
you keep
lights
trying,
flickering
Shredder.
out.
Oh my gosh.
I'll roll a d30 real quick
This is
because this is just
Alright.
for the entire time you've been walking and trying.
Come on, work.
You're on my back as
Oh
you're
my
like, pick up,
God.
pick up, pick up.
Just
Oh, no.
sometimes
Yeah.
the players and the DM tell a story,
Sometimes
and
they do
sometimes the
that.
dice tell
Yeah.
the story.
Yeah.
A natural
one of
one
those
on a
times.
d30, the d30 being my standard DM fate die. That's pretty
Yeah.
bad.
That's a
Um,
bad roll.
Maurice, new Alabaster Warden.
Yes.
Found in my
Um,
notes.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry, did you say the Alabaster Warden is here?
Yes, this bitch is behind everything. Man, why are the Alabasters such assholes?
Well, I don't know,
This
but
doesn't
We
make
can't-
any sense.
We can't leave now.
what do you mean we can? Sure we can.
If she's
Walking this
here,
way.
if she's here, there is a reason for it,
And it is that
and we
dragon.
are supposed to protect the Verdant.
I don't know how to fight a dragon on the
Wait,
ground.
wait. Nobody said anything about no dragon.
Remember the
We're just
skeleton?
getting out of here.
Well, yes.
Well-
It's not looking
Oh.
very good. Yes.
Are you saying that thing's gonna animate when that thing turns off?
That is correct, and it is going to happen in 3, 2, 1.
It's pretty close. You feel like a couple minutes, but yeah, no, it's pretty close.
Some dramatic effect, you know.
Well, in that case, Twilight's gonna turn around and start walking back towards the dragon.
Why?
No.
Why?
I wasted all these spell slots. I
Mhm.
have
Well,
weak
my
and
moxie thing can probably help. Maybe if we get lucky enough.
You have one use of the Mixie's Moxie left for the day, for reference.
tired.
You all took a lot of sips last time, and I
Should
marked you have
Twilight.
one use
I
left.
have one.
We've traveled for
What?
far too long. With how
It's
distant we
okay.
are, it'll fly over us. There's no point.
I'm going to intercept it. I can
How?
fly for a short while.
You cannot fly as fast as a dragon.
No, we both
I don't
can't.
have to. I just have to be in its way for when it gets here.
What do you think you could do against a huge ass dragon?
Well, Shredder, you kind of are de facto leader because you're next in line, so what do you want us to do?
I'm gonna keep walking this way. And I'm like gesturing with Shredder on my back.
We
I speak for Shredder now.
need to get
I am the
back.
legs.
Your brother would not want you to die here, huh?
We need to get back. Protect the people.
We'll have to deal with that ever this shit is later. Maybe. Unless it comes to us, then we'll try to kill it. Or we'll be
You-
killed.
You said it yourself. We won't make it in time. One of us at least has to slow it down.
Do you have a slow spell?
And you certainly aren't in any condition to do so, Shredder.
I don't
No,
think
you ain't.
30 seconds is going to be enough to slow it down. Combats take place in like way less than a minute, AJ. You're not
Oh,
really going to
God.
slow it down.
Well, I'm still walking as we're saying stuff.
Okay.
The other way.
I'm
from-
continuing
Well, it's
to
still
walk
head back
towards the
towards the
exit.
dragon.
Okay.
What are you doing, Shredder?
She's-
Twilight is heading the opposite direction of the group at the moment.
Twilight is throwing her life away.
What do you want us to do?
I'm going.
Going which
direction?
way? Yeah. They were both like,
I'm
which way?
leaving the bog. The way we've
Sure.
been going.
All right.
How many spell slots do I have?
I mean,
Let me see how many you started with, because
I
you
not- I
did
have-
spend a lot.
I did, and I've marked
I
them.
mean,
I have.
you could pray for, hope and a prayer with my last sip of moxie, but
I'm gonna give you a third and a fourth left.
Okay, thank you.
if you want to, replenish those spell slots.
It's sad, but don't want to. You want to use it? It's your thing.
I don't think even this potion's gonna be able to let me fight a dragon.
All right, I will drink. What do I roll? A D10, I think, right?
I don't
D8?
remember.
8, 10.
It's a D8, I believe, because it's 8. There's 8 options.
Well,
Oh,
Nope.
temp.
Oh, you got a 10.
That's temp.
No, 3.
Oh, temp.
What
Yeah,
what
that
do
is-
I roll?
I
Because that's what
believe-
This is like
I-
the
that's what-
most.
That's what I
Well,
rolled every time.
That's 2d10
really
plus
is.
20.
Oh,
I still have the temp from
Yeah.
last
2d10
roll.
plus 20
2d10 plus 20 temp
2d10 plus 20.
plus 20. It's pretty good.
Jesus.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
It's
that's
amazing.
good.
Whoa!
36 temp.
I wish you would have gotten 8.
Is that what I
Yeah, that-
needed?
Yes, that would be the
Yeah.
restore spell slots one.
Well, shit.
Which, speaking of which, Mixie does still have a fireball she can cast this day from when
I
she
do.
rolled that
Yep.
6th level fireball.
Well,
Yep.
shit. Maybe.
The only thing I got in my arsenal
we got.
against a dragon.
Yeah, I mean, that's better than nothing.
I mean,
Not that I don't want to fight it, it's that we won't make it.
I don't want to fight it.
I'm
personally
walking the
don't wanna
opposite
fight
way.
it.
Come on, little one. Let's go. If it catches up to us, you can try to stop it then.
Okay.
Right?
So I just want to
What?
make it clear. Nobody is physically stopping Twilight, because Twilight is not stopping. So if nobody physically stops Twilight,
I will.
the
get
party is
away.
separating.
I will physically put myself in Twilight's walking path
Okay.
and shimmy.
I'm sorry, what?
Shimmy. She's doing the
Come
shimmy.
on, all right, come on, we go back. Come on, you heard our warden in training. Come on,
Yeah, you heard him.
aren't you like bound by the royalty to do something and follow their commands? I don't know. Ow! What do you do?
As far as I am concerned, I am on Strike's team. And Strike would be disappointed in me if I let a dragon destroy the town.
I know, but I guess I feel like Strike would be disappointed if you just threw your life away for no reason. I'm shimmying. Come on, let us go.
I'm
fair.
not leaving.
Alright, then bye-bye. Unless our warden in training says we follow. Not...
And how far do you think you'll get before it starts taking off?
And how far do you think you'll get before it takes off? You can't catch a dragon.
That's
Far
why
enough
we
to
need to
stay
get a head
within the
start.
bog.
Come on.
I'm done arguing. Maybe you should have
Yeah.
stayed in that tower. And I walk away.
You ain't walking nowhere,
Giddy
sir.
up. Giddy up, Moxie. Or Mixie.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Woo!
Officially, the group is splitting. I'm going to change the music a little bit because, based on the decisions made today, this might be the last session of the Verdant subplot.
Yeah.
I can't fly is the thing. Like
I
You can't
Listen,
catch a fucking
I'm
dragon.
I'm not judging anyone's decision. The story makes
Oh, no,
itself.
I was-
Whatever
I was
happens.
throwing that at shit, what's your name? Twilight.
Sure.
I can't
So-
fly. Only you can fly.
I can
Shredder,
fly. I said I can fly.
everyone, please, children. Shredder, Lorelei, and Mixie continue walking away from the bog, intent to return to town to protect the people from whatever's happening there. The walk back to the Jade Shrine will take you 4 hours, because it was
walking.
several hours via cart.
After getting outside of the wall, does the rock still not
Yeah.
work?
It does not seem to be that the bog was stopping it.
Okay.
I will give you guys, because you have 4 hours of time to discuss it. You don't even have to do a roll. The Verdant clan employs certain things to intercept messages via Sending Stone. You guys know that. It's happened to the main party a few times, with Perry especially.
Cobalt.
The Kobolds would also have knowledge of such things, and you do suspect that there might be some form of magical jamming. Now, it's unlikely to believe this would be over the course of the entire territory, so perhaps it's happening at the city that you're trying to get in touch with, is what you are assuming. I think I will just give to you three, without any checks, because again, you have 4 hours to talk about it. This was obviously a coordinated strike. They took out the veil to distract as many people as possible, while they coordinated an attack on the port. It may even occur to the three of you that the theft of Strike's medicine by bandits may have also been part of this. Perhaps they had hoped Strike would be at the bog when this happened. As the three of you continue back, Twilight continues alone, back to the center of the bog.
Shit.
I am going to put Twilight, and only Twilight,
Oh, damn.
back on the map at the center of the bog. As you arrive, the light has absolutely diminished at this point. The familiar is gone, and there is no alabaster warden to be seen. Twilight, as you arrive, you find the skeletal form is no longer just skeletal. It's not a full-fledged dragon yet, but you see sinew and muscle beginning to form over the bones, as it seems to be slowly reincarnating. The wings do not seem membranous yet. They are just bone and tissue. Nothing to catch the wind between them yet. But you do see a dragon is reforming. What do you do?
Decapitated.
Alright, can she do any sort of knowledge check to see if she knows anything about...
What this is?
Yes!
I will... what does Twilight do? Good question. I'd say you have a lot of time to think by yourself as you indignantly walk back into the center of the bog over the course of an hour alone. Give me a history with advantage.
Can I guidance myself?
I'll allow it. Even if it's multiple uses of guidance over the course of an hour of thinking. As your mind tries to grasp onto whatever it can. 14 plus d4? 17? You knew before you had the knowledge check, the history check, to know that there was a dragon in the Verdant territory. This is really bad, I gotta say.
We made our choices.
You did. Hey, it's gonna be an interesting story one way or another. The Verdant were known as the military force of the Susail empires a long, long time ago, before they were ever merchants or assassins or whatever they are nowadays. Your family line, as being linked to the royal family line, as you are a child of nobility, your family line does extend back far enough to have records of Ezranok, the Verdant king, the first king of the Verdant clan. Often referred to in text as a dragon, you assumed this was a metaphor, as many assumed this was a metaphor. I believe right now Twilight is realizing it's very much real. And there was also talk of a rebellion against Ezranok, in which the current day hierarchy, the nobility, took over and ended the once warlike ways of the Verdant, making them more into merchants and tradesmen and such. There are even sometimes references to current day emperors of the Verdant referred to as dragons who hoard treasure of resources and trade deals and things as a slight jab, but you never thought it was somehow a reference to this.
Hmm.
You know from the texts your family has kept that Ezranok was an ancient green dragon.
Ooh.
And if this is Ezranok here, that has apparently been kept in a state of undying, you don't know how he's being brought back. You don't know why he's being returned. You don't know why the dragon itself is somehow regenerating. But if this is Ezranok, you would be lucky to buy seconds. But you also know that if Ezranok reaches Port Chimera and finds a bustling city full of the descendants of those who killed, sealed, and trapped it for hundreds of years,
Yep.
there would be a massacre.
Alright. I have an idea, but police. She's going to activate this.
Radiant Soul. You are an ASMR, that's right. Use the divine energy within yourself, causing your eyes to glimmer. Yep. Corporeal wings. Yep. Okay. So
She's
Twilight,
going-
as you stand there, wings of light sprout from your back and your eyes begin to glow as the power of the ASMR within you flares to life.
She's going to try
That's all you can really do in this situation.
and make sure at least one of the wings does not fully reform.
Okay.
And she's literally just going to be attacking it over and over, which she now deals radiant damage with her attacks.
Okay. I will have you come over here and begin to attack the wings.
Yep. Is it technically prone?
I'm not going to need attack rolls. There's no battle yet. There's no initiative.
Okay.
It's still reforming.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm essentially just trying to destroy the wing as much as
Understood.
I can.
I'm just going to cut the music real quick.
Hoping the radiant does something.
I know. I know. Took you guys an hour to walk out, and then about an hour for Twilight to get back. The light's been extinguished for a while. The dragon is rising. As you hack away at the sinew and mass of muscle that forms on the wing, you do feel like you are fighting back against whatever is regenerating the form. And as you are continuously hacking into it, you sense movement in the water as parts of the body begin to shift and lift and move. You hear the groan and creak of tendons that have not moved or formed or been for centuries as they snap, the bones crunching and reforming as an ancient brittle skeleton moves again.
Will haste herself to redouble down the efforts.
As you continue to hack and slash into this membrane, the wing also begins to lift, but you begin to slash and you cut through the bone and it falls, and the one wing does seem to be slowly decaying away more than it is regenerating. But after a moment, Twilight, you feel yourself freeze just for a second as you sense a gaze upon you, as about 3 feet from your right, a massive draconic eye is now on you. And you feel hot, fetid breath of undeath wash over you. What do you think you are doing, little one? As a voice echoes out around the bog. As you see the head of a massive green dragon craned right next to you.
Mm-hmm. I am protecting those who you would kill.
Why? Why? What will they do for you once you are dead? As you see, this massive form begins to salivate slightly as the flesh ripples up the skeletal face. Teeth forming and glistening. Scale over flesh then.
It's not them. Definitely not them. There's only one person I've ever cared about, and he cares about them. He's the only one who's ever shown me any inkling of kindness in my darkest times. As if I could
Twilight.
slow you even a little.
The dragon gives out a bit of a chuckle. I see. You too have been beaten down by these vermin. I need a wisdom saving throw from Twilight.
Mm-hmm.
Am I a player?
You sure can.
Double
Double
20s.
20s.
All right. Okay.
You just met the DC.
Oh, yeah.
As you feel words enter your mind, and you feel the thought enter, maybe I should join this thing. Maybe I should help it. It is the ancient emperor of my people. And then you see the image of Strike. You see a house on fire. You see your family executed by the emperor. You see Strike pulling you away. Strike. You couldn't betray Strike. And you fight it off. And the domination spell does not go through. As the head turns and the eye squarely on yours, slight glow fades. Pity. It would do to have a servant after so long. But I suppose a snack is also warranted. And I'm going to cut away,
Snack.
as there is no point to rolling
Hey,
initiative.
no, he could win.
He could run away.
He could
He
roll
dive
really
down into the
poorly.
water, you know.
We're going to shift our focus to the Jade Shrine, 3 hours after Twilight's encounter with Ezranok.
All right, she killed it. Good job.
As you three arrive at the shrine,
Can I, while we're running,
Yeah,
at
we're running.
third level, at third level, cast Longstrider on us, which give us an hour of extra movement. It's not a lot, but it's something.
okay, sure.
Just to maybe cut down it to like 50 minutes.
Yeah, no, that'll help a little bit. One of you is carrying another one of you, so there is a little
Hi.
bit of, yeah. It's still a little bit slow going. But as you guys leave the Venom Blight and arrive at the edge of the Jade Shrine, you do see the man who had the carriage before. He's kind of maintaining the horse. It's only been 5-6 hours since then. It's now about 10 o'clock at night. He seems to be closing up the stables. But as you all approach, he goes, you should have sent word. Mistress Elise would have told me I could have met you at the Blight. I apologize. Did you walk this whole way?
We need to go back. There's no time.
We kind of ran.
The bed is down. Do you not notice the lights are no longer there? What is wrong with you?
I'm sorry. I didn't. Okay. He seems a little flustered. He looks at your guys' condition.
We are haggard. And
Yeah. It's like, you should rest first before.
No,
That ain't happening.
we need to go back.
We need to get the message into the to strike to the warden, to the king, the danger
Pretty
dragon.
much anybody Burton.
What? I'm sorry. What? The. Please,
one
this way, and he'll direct you guys to the teleportation circle. As you guys are walking in, however, you begin to hear sounds of like gasps and screams as several of the monks at the shrine are looking up at the sky, pointing. And you guys follow their gaze as in the dark night sky, you do see a massive, faintly glowing green form, wings outstretched, flying from the bog.
Oh, come on,
Towards
let
the
him
city.
solo her. Come on.
No, no,
Come on.
no.
Teleportation
I will not.
Instantaneous question mark.
It is. It
Is
is.
it even working?
As you guys get to the shrine and you gather within the teleportation circle, you remember it was at the academy where you had a hard time connecting to Mistress Thulis.
Yeah.
Does not seem to be connected.
Damn.
You will have to make the 3-hour walk back to the city.
We need
From the shrine.
horses.
Or the 1.5-hour ride for the horses. All right, you guys are immediately supplied with horses and are sent back
I
to the
was
city.
at the shrine. Question.
Yes,
Before we go.
sure.
We'll get healed at this.
Are there any healers here?
There are. How long would you like to
On
have
behalf
them?
of the prince, you are riding with... on behalf of the emperor, you are riding with us and healing us before we go into battle.
Kill on a horse. Let's go. Come on.
I will note it's not that easy unless you take a cart.
We'll go by cart.
Okay.
Until
It'll be a
we're
little
healed.
slower. It'll be about 2 hours to get to
Question.
the city then.
Could we take
Yes.
a cart for like?
And then
30
after they
minutes,
heal
get
us,
healed,
we take the horses.
Take horses and leave the cart behind.
Technically, this is a situation of extreme duress. I suppose they won't mind if a cart is left to the wayside in the middle of the wilderness, but that's fine.
We'll pay for it.
I am the prince. You will allow
are the
this.
So, yeah, you guys can take a cart and some horses.
I'm
That's
the
funny.
prince. I need a cart. and
Can
I
they get
need
rid of
it
all my
now.
decay? Question mark.
Yes? Question mark.
Depends how good they are at it.
How much do you all
20.
have total?
I'll put it in chat.
I only
Yes,
have
please
one.
do.
I'm good.
Just put yours in. I know it's one.
Holy
It would be a
crap.
total of 46 with the
Yeah.
one from Mixie.
Guys, come on. Where are you using all this decay from?
I was gonna be petrified.
With
Ah,
with the fact that
Alright.
they would have people there who know Aurora Light, yes.
oh, thank
Okay,
goodness.
great.
And you have the order of the prince on your side. Yes, you can have all of your decay removed, plus the cart discarded on the wayside.
And they have to walk back in the evening.
And they have to walk back in the evening.
Doesn't matter. There's no port to come back to.
Nope.
Wow.
Mm-mm.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Wow. There.
Wow,
So
wow,
does
wow, wow,
Twilight's
wow.
hacking
Wowie
of the wing
zowie.
actually give them the time?
No.
Oh.
No, I'm afraid, AJ, one person back there would not have afforded any sort of time, I'm afraid. Unless you would like to roll me 10 consecutive natural 20s in a row right now.
Do it.
Do it!
Let's do it. Come on.
If you do it, I'll fucking eat a brick. I'll just eat a solid brick of rock
You know what?
right here.
Why natural 20s?
Oh my god.
So how many you said?
Just roll.
He wants his character to
Slash
not die.
Roll 10
Well, you would
d20.
definitely be flaring, cause holy shit.
Sure. / roll 10 d20 and just take 10 decay to say you rolled 10 times. Why not?
And so if it's 200, the total's 200, we win.
Be absolutely astronomically unlikely.
Low
I mean,
Whoa.
chances, yeah.
I would have to go out and play the lottery immediately.
Well, AJ has to play the lottery then.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep. There are a couple of 19s and 18s in there.
Yeah.
Mhm. No, unfortunately, a level 10 character against an ancient dragon does not win. I don't know what to tell you, man.
we get this many minutes to
Yeah,
before
sure.
Or
Yeah.
demise.
yeah. It's 4 minutes by itself, right?
Yeah. Twilight,
Mm.
as you are locked in combat with Ezranok, in the middle of the Manticore Bog, what does Twilight feel as she is cut down by an ancient dragon? Alone in the middle of a bog, miles away from Strike, abandoned by her teammates that she just met today. What are your last thoughts?
She just hopes that with everything she did, hopes strike in some way.
Your last thought is not of bitter regret or of contempt. Your last thought as a member of the Verdant Claw is of hope. All right. With Twilight's death, Verdant Claw remains as it is. Your party takes carriage about halfway. Your decay is removed, and upon reaching the walls of Port Chimera, you are met with the sound of screams, the sight of flames, and the smell of death. As I'm going to end the session here
Mm.
with the first recorded failed subplot, the Verdant's fall.
I can't help but to feel that I'm partially responsible for this.
Oh, really? Partially responsible?
Listen,
I mean,
listen. I knew an ancient dragon was not going to be something you could beat, but
not with Strike.
there was supposed to be other things, but
Other people?
decisions were made. This will shape the course of future events.
Mhm.
I'm not saying that this was necessarily a bad end.
It was the worst possible outcome, Mike.
You
It's fine.
didn't wipe.
No, we didn't wipe.
Whoa, we got
Three of you
worse
were alive.
somehow.
Relax. I have nowhere to go back to.
So really short session tonight.
Yeah.
I take no responsibility for this. Shit. Yeah, I don't even know where to go from that.
I mean, we could all role play what we would do as characters.
I guess I should ask, what would the three of you choose to do when you arrive at the destroyed Port Chimera? Not
How
totally destroyed, but in the middle of being destroyed. There is a massive dragon spewing what looks like gouts of poisonous smog over the city, swooping down, picking people up, dropping them. There is an effort to stop it. But amidst all of this, you also see explosions occurring across the bay at the Verdant throne, where there seems to be combat happening with the seat of power.
I would be going for where we left Strike.
Okay. You guys would find the Venomous Academy has been attacked. It is not fully destroyed, but it does seem like, knowing the importance of the location, a few locations in the city were attacked: the Verdant Defenders headquarters, the Venomous Academy, the Mercantile Guild, the Viridian Sea's headquarters, and the Verdant Throne were all attacked in unison, it seems like, to hopefully cripple the defenses of the city. You guys join the fray. You fight against... I'm not even going to roll these things. This is just full theater of the mind description epilogue here. You fight against members of the Cobalt, Golden, and Alabaster unified together against the Verdant. Yes.
Would Lorelei be aware of any crimson like loyalties between the two clans?
Yes, you do know that, and it was mentioned at breakfast this morning at the feast, if the Verdant have their aura restored, they'll have the full backing of the Crimson. It was a
Okay.
condition.
I will attempt to persuade Shredder to abandon ship and head to the Crimson territory. And if that doesn't work, which I doubt it would, I would try to persuade Biff to knock Shredder unconscious and take his body to the Crimson in an effort to maintain some semblance of the Verdant line.
You will have to take me against my will then.
So I would like Mixie.
Do I
If
get a say in this?
you
I was just
absolutely
gonna say,
do.
I'm
You
trying
absolutely
to persuade.
do.
All right, you can
That's all-
persuade.
That is my attempt.
Okay, so where are we coming in?
Doesn't matter right now. You guys are at the front gate.
right.
You see the destruction throughout the city.
Mm,
You know that there is basically a war brewing in the middle of the city with a dragon that has not been delayed at the bog, but has instead joined the battle at the port. You do know the dragon doesn't seem to be taking sides. It does kill some of the cobalt and the golden and the alabaster as well. It doesn't seem to care.
Wanton violence.
Yeah. Think Desolation of Smog, but with
Mm.
poison breath instead of fire.
Obviously, Mixie's the most important thing for her would be her family.
Had a feeling.
She would want to go and make
You
sure
could.
that
You
the
could
bar was okay.
Yeah, you could absolutely run straight
We
to...
just met you guys. Like...
Yes, this is also true. This is the first day you've all known each other.
I'm a normal person.
Okay. So Mixie runs off to the bar, leaving Lorelei and Shredder. Shredder, I believe, immediately would head to the Venomists Academy. Lorelei, what does Lorelei do, seeing the verdant claw dismantling itself?
Try to persuade Shredder to leave, and then if that doesn't work, attack Shredder.
I will need...
Knock
Shredder
unconscious.
has indicated that will not work.
I know.
Lorelei, I will need... gosh, I'm not going to improvise a battle right now.
Yeah.
But can you both just roll a d20?
That feels
adding
the
your
most...
attack modifier, maybe, as well. Because if it's going to be a matter of fighting, then it would be like an attack roll.
So just like a base attack.
Yes, it's a base attack against each other.
Just do an attack.
Ignoring damage, just looking at the...
Hey, it's the same.
18 versus 18!
Oh, that's... You knock each other out.
Christ, this really
It's
went
always
tits up, didn't it?
Alright, if it doesn't work, I won't continue it,
God.
and I
Okay.
will just go try to find my own family. If they're dead, then I'm booking it out and making my way to the Crimson.
Okay.
I'm literally shock propulsioning, trying to get as fast as I fucking can. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters anymore.
I'll put some sort of music on because the silence is getting to me. Just to end this, we'll put... This seems
Just
fitting.
to end it.
This seems very fitting.
Yeah.
I'll just do an epilogue then for you guys.
Yeah.
Twilight, your last moments are thinking of hope for your clan. Hoping that you made enough of an effort or a difference. Hoping that Strike will be okay. Your family, the noble house you belonged to, sought to overthrow the Emperor once. And for it, they were wiped out. But Strike saved you. Strike spared you, even when he was just a child and had very little pull. You feel a life debt to Strike. So it only makes sense that you would spend your life and your death in service to him. But I think... no. I don't even think Twilight feels sad. Perhaps disappointed. But knowing she did everything she could. Mixie.
Yeah.
You return to the bar to find it mostly untouched. You see that the hooves are not completely unharmed, but they're definitely not a focus point of the warring clans. They don't really care about the little people, so to speak. You find them having barricaded themselves in, taken in a few of the others. The black goat seems to be standing strong. Do you try to get out of the city with your family, or do you stay and fight? Or you can tell no matter what happens, the outcome is going to be destruction. There's going to be a lot of destruction, and especially with a dragon here,
Yeah,
it's hard to tell.
Rift.
Yeah.
She'd probably honestly try to persuade Urtguth and her auntie to, if auntie's there,
Probably.
to get out. She'll obviously come with them. She'll ask about Krask and where he was, if they knew.
Probably had a shop over in the
probably had a
Dragon's Fang
shop.
district. It's a bit of a... I'll put you on the city
It
map,
is-
but it's
it
not
is a
really
bit of a-
close,
No, it ain't.
unfortunately. It's around here, this area, and the bar is on the other side of the city. You know, Krask kind of lives in the upscale,
Scalar. Yeah.
considering his
Mm-hmm.
profession. You would have to go through a lot of war-torn territory to get to him and then back, and I think your family probably tries to convince you that it's best to have faith that he found something, somewhere to be, even if it's a gentle lie. Would you try to leave via foot through the city gate? Unfortunately, the city is walled in by the Chitin Tarj, which, with the dragon, kind of makes it into a death trap.
Yeah.
The walls that were meant to keep the city safe now barring in any exit except for the gate or by water.
Or by wharf. Well, her one other brother does work at the wharf, so they would probably head there.
Okay.
Mixie obviously, trying to fight the riffraff if there's any around. Trying to take advantage of the chaos. Just trying to get to boat.
Okay. You guys get to the wharf, fighting through the streets. I'll roll. Actually, would you like to roll, or would you like me to roll a d30? I leave it up to you.
I'll put it in my hands. I'll put my fate in my hands.
Roll 1d30, please.
1d30.
12?
Well,
Middle.
very mid.
I'd say a couple of your family members get wounded, but no one goes down. You manage to fight to the wharf, pulling them onto a boat. You seem like there's a lot of boats that are almost like life rafts for the city, taking a lot of refugees and survivors from the attacks that are now homeless and trying to get out. You do see a number of ships leaving the port in waves as the city flees from the destruction.
Do I see my other brother at all? Do I see I probably wouldn't see Krask because he was on the other side.
Probably not Krask.
Oh god, I can't even think of Sindre. Do I see Sindre?
Sindre, yes, you do see Sindre. Yes, he does.
God.
Area. the Mixie family, the McKennans, do seem to be as united as possible, and do seem to escape the Port Chimera. Lorelei, you go and seek your family.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Whereabouts would your family live in the town?
They're probably like middle class.
Lion's Mane, probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would assume
Not too far from
near
the city gate.
water. Yeah.
You probably could find them. Give me either you roll or I roll a d30. Okay. Same, middling. You find them. There seem to be like a little hurt. They've been attacked, wounded. No one's dead though. How would Lorelei try to get them out of the city?
There's probably not boats where we're at.
You'd have to make your way over to the Serpent's Tail Wharf, yeah.
And that feels like her thought process probably would be, if I were attacking the city and I saw a bunch of boats leaving, I'd probably let it blow them up or like attack them. So I would probably make my way back through the city gate and travel up towards the Jade Shrine. Maybe grab the 3 horses that we used if they're still there.
Yeah. Yeah. So very funny that Lorelei chooses to not go the boat. Mixie does. I like the opposite here.
What's up?
Lieutenant Atwater does not go through the water, but it makes sense. And as you do leave, you do see some of the boats are attacked by the dragon, moving targets very obviously. No way to know if Mixie's on one of them.
I don't have sending.
No.
Yeah.
Right. Lorelei and
get to the Crimson.
Lorelei and her family abscond from the city on horseback, riding through the fields and the bamboo forests away from the destruction of her home.
I guess if we pass people, try to get the people
to go as well.
Yeah. That'll be
give me a persuasion check, just like a flat, to see like how many people you can get to go with you.
Not a lot. 5.
You get 5 people to come along with you.
Nice. I'll take it.
Verdant Wanderers, that's what you guys will be called. Wander the land.
The Verdant Vagabonds.
Yeah, vagabonds. There you go.
And lastly, Shredder.
Yeah.
As you run alone through the city streets back to the Venomists Academy, you find Mistress Thulis has barricaded in one of the greenhouses in the center with your brother, and who is still unconscious for like 4 more hours. And you see she is trying to very quickly synthesize something to wake him up, but she is a little injured, and you do see that the Venomous Academy has been under attack as well at some point. What is Shredder's objective at this point? Your brother is still unconscious.
I will give her one of my potions so she can function better.
Okay.
And defend from the outside for as long as I can to get him awake.
Okay. Roll me a d30.
Come on, 30! Come on, 30!
25.
That's
Better than my 1.
time.
Yeah.
Nice.
Ooh.
Fighting for hours is not easy.
No.
Fighting for minutes is hard. But I think as Shredder stands here, and definitely not the DM doing this, but perhaps feeling a little bit of blame for what happened. A little bit. You find the strength to continue to fight and to protect. And eventually, you're joined by Strike, fully armored, as he steps wearily out. Should also note, Lorelei had the Hespernox tears, right?
Oh shit!
Yep.
So Strike steps
Ah.
out, feeling weary and hurt, as he steps up alongside Shredder, sword drawn, haggard, very clearly still confused. He looks to you. I don't need an explanation now. I can tell this isn't the time. But I expect one. When this is done. And you don't think you've ever seen a more venomous look from your brother before. But he does not make any move to strike you. He does not make any move to stop you. He joins up next to you to fight. And I will roll a d30 for strike.
Ah, shit. Go on, 30. Come on, baby.
10.
Yeah. Ain't good.
I need to ask, what does Shredder do? Do you just follow Strike's lead? Do you have a goal of your own now that Strike is up?
Does Shredder realize after getting back there that Shredder doesn't have the cure with him?
I don't think you think of it until Strike's up. The party divided so quickly as soon as you entered the city. Lorelei is riding on horseback back to the Crimson with a bag full of cure-all plants.
I didn't think of it
I'm a
Oh,
message away.
Not sending away.
That's what I meant. Yeah. I'm a
Nobody
sending
has
away.
sending here.
Oh,
of this
Unless
group.
the
What's her face
venomist
does?
lady, is she a caster?
No, she's a rogue.
Oh.
She's closer to an alchemist than a caster, really.
Mm.
Ooh.
I mean,
I just need to know, what does Shredder do at this point? Do you just fight alongside Strike towards the Verdant throne? Because he's going to move towards the Emperor, obviously. Do you go a different way? Do you have a different idea?
he's not going to listen to me if I tell him I need to find Lorelei. He's going to go towards the throne anyways.
He is Warden. He has a duty to perform. And though he's very disoriented, very confused, because the last thing he remembers was drinking a stimulant ready to go out with his claw,
Oh, shit.
he wakes up to devastation and a keen sense that something went very wrong.
I'll fight beside my brother.
Okay. You guys fight your way to the Verdant throne. You find the castle has been attacked thoroughly. Least of which not being the dragon that has definitely targeted the seat of nobility. As you all go your separate ways, some running, some fighting, some dying, meanwhile, elsewhere, a massive, beautiful, vibrant, multicolored, flying fox-like creature, Ilarin, arrives at Kalos, the heart of Susail, meets with the Sphinx.
That was going to happen.
Big dragon
Mid-fight.
fight.
Yep.
The DM didn't put you guys against an unwinnable thing, you know that, right? But hey, happens. Happens.
We're dumb.
As you guys went your separate ways, Lorelei, you were about halfway away from the town. Mixie, your boat escaping the destruction of the dragon, the port fading into the horizon. Strike and Shredder fighting against the mixed clans. You all feel a sudden surge of energy. as your true verdant aura returns to you. And you wonder if things could have gone different. And that's where we'll wrap up the subplot of the Verdant Claw.
I'm ending.
We got the ending.
I mean, look, it's fine.
I liked it. It's an
Why?
interesting narrative twist. It'll change
Yeah.
the way things go. There's now a dragon in Susail. That's
Hmm.
pretty cool.
That is really cool.
We could have the main party do something with that maybe sometime. I don't know. Hey, Strike's alive. Shredder's alive. Twilight's dead.
Mm.
Yeah.
Or Twilight.
So,
No
thank you all for joining.
Yep.
Sorry it was a slightly shorter session than usual. Yeah, I agree, Mira. It feels like crap, but it is a very good from a narrative standpoint.
Why are
Feels
you
pretty
reading
good.
yet, Chris?
Because we're about to end.
All right.
We are, yes. We will pick up I guess next week. I was gonna say we were gonna finish the Verdant next week, but since it's done today, I will.
Think
Do
of
we
shit.
want to start it before?
I don't know, because here's the thing. For those watching, we're gonna have, unfortunately, what looks like a month break because of the holidays coming up. The 11th, 18th, and 25th are pretty much a no-go for plans on people. So we're gonna have like a month between, because for some reason Christmas falls on a Sunday. We have a Christmas party on the 18th, and there's family plans on the 11th. It just doesn't work out. So we're probably gonna have like a month before we get to play this again after next week. I don't really want to start another subplot and then wait an entire month, but I'd like to play something next week. Maybe we'll do like an alt ending of what happened here. I don't know. We could do like a
What we should have done.
This
yeah,
could be a
we'll
retcon.
do a what if maybe next week. I
a
don't know.
multiverse.
Yeah. This was just one
one-shot
possibility of what could have happened. We'll see what happened. I think that's what we're gonna do next week. We'll roll it back a couple hours and see what would have happened if the party had stayed to fight as Renok instead. It will not. I will make this note. That will not be the canon. What happened was today.
Yep.
What next week will just be to make us feel a little bit better about this. So, thank you for joining. We'll see you next week for a curious what if scenario. Yeah, you know what? Actually, Mira, it's not a bad idea. We could include what if Strike was there. We could just, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll have Strike be there so it's a little bit more like what I originally planned.
What if Chris didn't fuck everything
y'all
up?
Hey. There was some really good ideas. I liked trying to delay the light thing. It just was a matter of, unless you guys all stood there for like 10 hours just keeping it going, there really wasn't anything to be done.
Yeah.
I had battles prepared. Those mounds that were rising were zombies. There were undead in the swamp that were rising. I had stuff, but
Had stuff.
oh well.
So,
we'll find out what could have happened next week.
Been. That's gonna be the next
what could have
episode.
been. Yeah, you know what? It'll be episode 78 or 9 or whatever. What could have been?
0.5, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
all right, guys. Well, this is an early end for tonight. It was enjoyable to a degree. So,
yeah. I'll see you later.
see ya.
Bye.
Bye.